On the Mother World, 1,000 kings ruled unchallenged in succession. But in the royal bloodline's lust for power, they consumed everything upon their planet. The realm marched its armies into the vastness of space, conquering everything in its path. The glory of the Mother World seemed without end until the treachery of an assassin's blade struck down the king and queen, severing the royal bloodline forever.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
This is Cheapseat Reviews.
Hello, and thank you for listening to Cheapseat Reviews, the podcast that explores the Hollywood film industry for the greater good.
The greater good.
Yeah. Not a whole lot you can do with this movie with that. You just say the line. This is episode 477. And tonight we're talking about Rebel Moon. In case you had no idea what that intro clip there I played had anything to do with anything. It's Rebel Moon. Frankly, the clip I captured was much longer, but just because I liked listening to Anthony Hopkins talk. But I realized, I don't need a minute and a half intro clip before we play the actual intro. So I cut it short. But Anthony Hopkins is great. But it still makes me question this entire movie. I'm still not really sure what's happening. It's confusing. It really is confusing. Anyway, we'll talk about it in a second. I am Sean Allred, your host, and joining me tonight is Andrew. I wish the spaceships in this movie looked cooler. Jimison.
Hey,
buddy.
I have built Lego spaceships before that I think are probably cooler looking.
They're all just kind of just like long rectangles in space.
Yeah. I liked the one that was kind of like a walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
And then the one that was kind of like a remote control. That was kind of cool.
That's just weird.
I'm completely joking. They all look like walkie-talkies and remote controls.
Yeah, I don't know. They were pretty lame, I thought. They were, I don't know, just big squares or rectangles in space. The only things that looked I kind of interesting were the little fighters that the rebels get at the end.
But only kind of, right?
And they also kind of look like Naboo starfighters.
Yeah.
Well, with a little bit of a pod racers as well.
A little bit, yeah.
In them.
Yeah. That other voice you hear as the Sam is the boy soldier, our hopping man, Vector.
There's several hopping men in this movie that we kind of leave behind, but I wonder if they come back in the second one.
They have to. They have to.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's disappointing.
Like, why would you get Anthony Hopkins to come in and voice this robot to only have him say one line of dialogue and then disappear for the film and then show up at the end with antlers on? I know it's
so weird.
I know it's in he's in the second movie, but it was so weird. It was very strange. So, all right. So this is 2020 somethings Rebel Moon 2020. When did this come out? 2023. Oh, this year, 2023. Rebel Moon, and it's only on Netflix. It was produced by Netflix, directed, written by Zack Snyder. And this basically, the short is that this was a script that he had written, or a story that he had written to pitch to George Lucas to be in the Star Wars universe before he sold it to Disney. And then after the Disney sale, obviously he had to just sit on it for a while. So if this movie gives you a little bit of Star Wars vibes, that's why. And why would we pick this movie And why do I mention the whole Star Wars vibes? Well, Sam came up with this really brilliant idea for the month of May. We are doing, in 2024 is going to be the month of themes. Every month will have a theme. And this month, the theme is Star Wars Adjacent, meaning movies that are kind of like Star Wars in some way, shape, or form. And I thought that this was a perfect movie to kick off the month with that. And we will actually end the month with Rebel Moon 2. So hopefully some of these questions will be answered. But I also didn't want to do it back to back because I felt like I needed a breathe. We would want a breather.
I feel like we would be angry.
Yeah, like
I do.
we might want like we're gonna watch some fun and some dumb and some really campy stuff that I feel like will help palate cleanse the over seriousness that is this film. So
It's the proverbial coffee grounds that you sniff after being in the Yankee Candle.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's the sorbet, if you will.
Yeah, and the sorbet will be Battle Beyond the Stars, Disney's The Black Hole, and Spaceballs. So
Yeah.
those are our sorbet. Spaceballs, the sorbet. I'm sure Mel Brooks would love to sell that. And I'm very excited to talk about Spaceballs just because of all the fun references and stuff. So
They serve it in a dark helmet.
yes,
Yeah.
while they watch Mr. Radar and drink Mr. Coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's looking forward to it. So, and that's the only movie. Well, I have seen The Black Hole, but it's probably been 25, 30 years. And the other ones I haven't seen. I haven't seen Battle Beyond the Stars. And this was obviously my first time. Sam, this was your second time watching Rebel Moon.
Yeah.
And Andrew, this was your first time too, yeah?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Well, then let me say this. Andrew, go ahead and tell us what Rebel Moon is, because it's not a movie about Rebel Wilson and her butt. It is something else entirely different. So what is Rebel Moon?
When a peaceful settlement, take two. When a peaceful settlement on the edge of a distant moon finds itself threatened by a tyrannical ruling force, a stranger living among its villagers becomes their best hope for survival.
Yeah, you see, if you would have done it in theatrical announcer voice guy, I think you would have been fine.
Probably.
Yeah.
But since I was trying to play it cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Cheapseat Reviews. We don't do things cool here.
I don't even know what I said. When a peaceful sediment?
You said sediment. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of dirt there.
Peaceful sediment. Yeah.
There's a lot of
They,
dirt.
they do talk about the soil a little bit.
A lot. Yeah.
A lot. Yeah. And they sniff it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And have sex for it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so yeah, this is that. So let's go ahead and do our 5-word review. I'm really interested to hear what you guys have to say about this movie. I don't really have any idea where this is gonna go. Like this, I feel like this movie this episode is gonna be one of two things, and I think only one of two. Either we're gonna unilaterally hate it, or there's gonna be a surprise from one of us. You know, like one of us is gonna go, it's actually not as bad as IMDb has it at a 5.6. So I don't know. We'll see. Sam, why don't you go first?
Oh, do I have to?
Yes,
Okay.
you do.
I just have one simple one here, and that is simply Zack Snyder, please just stop. Now, but see, I have such a love-hate relationship with Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
Because I love his vision. I love the way things look. I love the, even slow motion stuff and just the attention to the detail in the look of things is just immaculate. But the man can't tell a story. This story has been written for him. This is basically the was it Seven Samurai or
Yeah.
I think it might have been Seven Samurai. That basically George Lucas decided was kind of what he was thinking about with Star Wars. Now Snyder basically took the idea and ran with it here, and we're just kind of collecting all the samurai and all this stuff. But I don't know if it's the actors he chooses or if it's the actors themselves that are bad. It's so clunky and so badly written that it makes me want to throw things at the screen. It looks gorgeous, but I hate it with all of my heart. Um, it's like dating a really, really, really pretty girl, but she's got a horrible personality. Um, and that's he seems to do this a lot. If Zack Snyder could get somebody that would rein him in story wise and help him get the stories right and maybe take over some of the directorial duties and leave him to cinematography and principal photography and all that sort of stuff, maybe we get a good movie. But I'm starting to think that Zack Snyder cannot make a good movie. I don't think he's a good storyteller, and it's very apparent in this one, especially after the second time I'm watching it. The leads are horrible. The girl, I could care less. And to put a tie on the bad guy, no, it's just dumb.
Thank you for calling out the necktie.
Yeah, I mean, and like there is no gray area to the bad guy. What makes him interesting? Why is he bad? Why I'm so frustrated with this because it has potential, like all of his stupid movies have potential, and it's just wasted with bad directorial choices when it comes to the acting and the story.
Is this our fourth or fifth Zack Snyder film? We did 300, right? We did 300.
Yeah.
On episode 300.
Which the story was very much comic book accurate. All he had to do was make a comic book come to life in that.
Yeah. You're right.
So that's why he was able to survive.
Yeah, it's a graphic novel.
That movie.
Told historical whatever. So yeah, he doesn't have much story to tell. And that movie also, the bad guy is pretty, one note also. But we don't care because the action was so good and it was new.
It was so good. Yeah.
It was also new because we hadn't really been overwhelmed with the slow motion world yet. So we did 300. We did the Sucker Punch.
Yeah.
We've done,
which again was all spectacle, no story.
But I actually liked that movie, I think, more than anyone else. I don't remember who our guest was. Maybe the lady one, I think. But I liked them. I kind of liked the story, and I liked the steampunk aesthetic. I honestly, of all the Zack Snyder films we've done those two, right? We've done. I'm going off the top of my head. I'm not reading off the list. We haven't done Man of Steel. I don't think we've done, and we didn't do Justice League, did we? I don't think we've done any of his DC stuff. Gosh, now I can't remember.
I thought we did.
We did Justice League, I think, but
yeah,
but it was not the Zack Snyder cut.
Not the Zack Snyder cut. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's right. I think we did Justice League.
Let's see. Just real quick. Sorry, it won't take a second. Aquaman.
This brief pause while Sean searches.
Oh wait, Superman. No, that's the original Superman. No, we've not done. Oh, we did Batman versus Superman.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
That's what we did.
Yeah,
we did do that one. So there was that one, and then we did the zombie movie, and then now this one. And for some reason, Sam has a background that's from John Carter, which I think is a better. Would have rather watched than this, and I didn't really like John Carter that much.
No, I just wanted to. There was. Hold on.
Okay.
No, just keep going.
Yeah, I will.
I'll explain it here in a second.
But of all those movies, I mean, 300 is probably my favorite. But then my second favorite would probably be Sucker Punch of the ones that I've seen of his, honestly. Anyway. But to just again for the nerds that are listening, I want to make something clear that you mentioned, Sam. just because it has to do with Star Wars. And though we don't really get hate mail or messages all that often, I don't want people yelling at their phone. So, yes, George Lucas did write Star Wars: A New Hope based on a Kurasawa film, but it's technically The Hidden Fortress. But it is influenced by The Seven Samurai, which The Magnificent Seven is the Seven
Yeah.
Samurai. And this movie is that. This movie is based on The Seven Samurai, which is Zack Snyder's favorite film. So that is the connection. So you are right. I just wanted to add the note of The Hidden Fortress, which is the Star Wars: A New Hope. So again, just um, cutting off at the pass some of the nerd rage that may or may not follow, because it does happen. Oh, I see what you're doing. For the listening audience, Sam is comparing visually the king in this movie. There's a king who kind of looks like
The aliens from John Carter Mars.
So Sam saying that he kind of looks like the aliens from John Carter. I thought he looked like a more passive version of the squid face from Pirates of the Caribbean.
The Davy Jones.
Yeah, Davy Jones.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. And also, there's a Star Wars character. I think it's in Phantom Menace, maybe. That looks kind of like that.
Yeah,
possibly. Yeah,
one of the Trade Federation people, I think.
Oh yeah, they don't have those gangly things. They're just Asian stereotypes.
Or maybe it was the bug things in the Genosians.
Genosians. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, they're kind of similar. They are.
Yeah.
So, all right, Andrew, what's your 5-word review?
Okay, well, I got a couple actually.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, my first one is actually only one word. My second one is let's put the team together.
Yeah.
And my third one is Star Wars meets Mad Max meets Iron Sky.
Ooh, Iron Sky. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because of the Nazis.
Space Nazis. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Nazis. Now, I have to say, before I say anything else about the movie, I wrote a note down when I was watching this, and it was in the first few minutes of the movie. I wrote these two words down. Space vagina. Because the ship comes through, I guess it's some sort of portal.
Yeah, I thought exactly.
And I swear to you, if space had a vagina, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, the space fold.
And so I thought where, from that moment, I thought, where is this movie going?
Yeah.
And I also thought, who knows what we're going to get here? And so, yeah, I sorry to leave you with that visual, but I don't know that I enjoyed it, but I also don't know that I hated it. I feel like there was some pretty decent action scenes that I kind of enjoyed. But I also feel like there's a lot of marks that got missed. Like it has potential to be really good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I agree. I think what Sam said about the actors are just not the ones that we need. I think maybe the lead is okay. Because I think she's, she does well with the action. But the villains, I don't buy them. And I love, was it Carrie? How do you say it?
I say Elwes, but yeah, Carrie.
Elwes.
Yeah,
I love him to death. I think he's a great actor. But I don't know he's good for the king in this movie. And I don't know. And then you're right, Sean, about the Anthony Hopkins robot. I mean, I know that we need our C-3PO, our R2-D2, our, whatever robot you want to throw in there. But I don't know. I feel like that is underused. And why aren't there more of them? And we see the plant sculpture thing from Beetlejuice that catches the people and holds them.
Mm-hmm.
and that's used, I think, somewhat better. But we, like you said, we also do have the Hopping Man. Uh, I just feel like there's a lot of, and I know there's a second one, but I feel like there's a lot of loose ends. There's a lot of things that are left undone. Um, Maybe one of the better actors is the father guy from
Yep.
the
From the village.
and he got
Yeah.
killed off in the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. And I thought Charlie Hunnam did well. The turncoat.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
did not see that one coming.
His accent annoyed me though, but that's only because I'm used to him. We saw him in The Gentleman and King Arthur: Legend of the Sword. So when he goes full Irish, it threw me off.
I was glad, speaking of accents, I was glad that it was just kind of a, hodgepodge of accents. There wasn't one really prominent accent for the entire movie. Like we don't have all the villains speaking a British accent like we do in Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's like a good mix up of things. Now, I see why this is Star Wars adjacent, because we do have our samurai swords lady who is using laser swords.
Yeah.
We have our robot, and we have our hero who has parental issues. And we have our
And it's found on a farm on a dusty planet.
Right. We don't really have a Chewbacca. We just have a lot of really muscular men for some reason
who don't wear shirts,
like 300 style muscular men.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't like that actor for some reason. It's just all muscle, no brain. Basically, that's the only thing I get from him is all muscle, no brain.
You know who I thought it was at first was Matthew McConaughey, because he kind of had that look, just really tan, and I was like, wait, no, that's not him.
Yeah.
But overall, guys, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this movie. And I think where IMDb has it, like, I know we're going to get to our ratings later, but I think I can understand why the ratings are the way it is. And the last thing I'll say, I did see on IMDb, looking through some of the other reviews, one of them said, if AI made a movie.
Ah, yeah, okay.
And I can see that. I could see if we said to ChatGPT, write me a script for a space opera, it's kind of like Star Wars. This is what came out of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can. Yeah, that's actually kind of funny. The more you think about it in the movie, that actually is really, really funny. I do want to mention, so Sophia Boutella, who was the lead.
Nutella?
Yeah. I was actually trying to find a way to pronounce her last name. If you do it, I don't know. Sophia, I think she is. I do think she is a good actress, and we have seen her in other things. I think she's good in The King's Man. I think she's good in Star Trek Beyond. So she's obviously our Star Trek connection.
Right.
But in both of those movies, she's not the lead.
Yeah,
Even in the Star Trek movie, where she has a leading role, she isn't. She isn't the lead. So I think part of her problem is that I don't think she's good enough to carry a film.
I don't think she has the charisma.
I don't think
she would need.
Yeah, I don't think she does either. I think, like the reason why Star Wars works is because Harrison Ford has the charisma to carry the film. Now I know Luke is in the Luke is in the movie more and had less acting, but Han makes up for it, right? So there isn't that character, that actor, to do that for her, because the other dude, the other farmer guy that kind of pals around with her for most of the movie, is fine. He's fine, but he's also kind of one note until the end of the movie where he grows a spine. But for the most part, he's just scared farmer man, right?
Forgettable.
Yeah, he's kind of whatever. It's not like she's hanging around with Charlie Hunnam the whole time, or Digimon Hansu. Like if she was with that guy the whole time, who is a good actor, who has been in 150 films, you know what I'm saying? Maybe that helps elevate it. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm also not going to lay a lot of blame on her because I would rather just lay the blame on Zack Snyder. So it's just easier.
Which it's yeah.
I think it's easier that way. All right, so here are my 5-word reviews, and I have 3, which we've already kind of established. The Magnificent Seven in space, so we kind of are aware of that. Robot has best backstory. I loved just listening to Anthony Hopkins talk as that robot and give us this backstory.
Yeah. Do you feel like we got a couple of moments in this movie where it was just storytelling?
There was
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, okay, how about hold on. So I wrote a lot of notes. This is the kind of movie where I wrote lots of notes. And give me a second. Crap, where is it? Sorry. One of my notes though is like feels like a third of this movie is a backstory. Yeah, 1/3 of this film is a backstory. I wrote that, so there is a lot of that, Andrew, and I understand. I kind of get why, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to backfill so we understand this character. You know, Star Wars says Luke is a farm boy, right? That's all we know. He's a farm boy who has space magic and he has to learn how to use it. And we don't get his backstory until the second and third movie. So, but in the moment, if you're watching Star Wars the first time, he's just a farm boy. But that makes what he does pretty impressive. Is that he, saves the day being just a farm boy that has a little bit of space magic, right? Whereas she kicks ass the whole movie.
Yeah.
So you need to explain why. And you find out, she was like a captain in the King's Guard or in the King's Army or whatever. So here's the part that I'm confused about. And I played that intro clip. Anthony Hopkins is giving us this beautiful narration about the mother world. Because we can't say fatherland and have actors wearing basically Nazi uniforms. So we're going to call it the mother world. Which, by the way, that was my 4th note. Was could his uniform look more German? Could his uniform look more Nazi Germany? That's what I wrote. So he says that there was a planet with 1,000 kings, and they conquered everything. Like, oh, okay, these sound like bad guys. These sound like an evil empire. And then a traitor killed the king and ended the bloodline. So is the traitor a bad person or is that a good person? Like who is the traitor? And we'll probably find out in the second movie. So somebody kills the king and queen and the daughter. And I guess the daughter was special because the robot tells this wonderful story about how the daughter was special. And then we kind of get through Sophie's telling that she also maybe had magic, healing abilities.
Bring the bird back to life.
Yeah, which is cool, right? I'm all about some space magic. But they die. So I don't. Am I supposed to be sad or not? Because she was still part of the king's army that conquered worlds and wrecked the universe. So I don't know who are the bad guys here. And so now you have this admiral, who was the bad guy from Deadpool, Francis. Who's has this dreadnought. He's going out, extorting food from farmers and killing the rebels. But again, I don't know why. They keep talking about the Senate, and I'll take you in front of the Senate. Who was the Senate? I don't know. There's so much this movie just throws at us, and I'm just supposed to accept.
We'll find out after they do 3 of these, and then they go back and make prequels.
Yeah, is that how it's going to work? Because I don't know if I want to do that.
Well, no, we have to meet, Cup Banks.
How long have you been sitting on that?
That just came to me.
That's amazing. That's awesome. Okay. So the other points that I definitely want to make sure I hit. Yes, this is a team up movie like Seven Samurai. They have to hire the people to come to help save to protect them from the bad guys, which I'm all for. I think that's a really cool story. But I don't really care about any of the characters because we don't really get a chance to know them, like, at all. And then it's a 2-hour movie. I mean, it's a
Right.
It's not a short film. It's a good 2 hours and some change. I mean, it's not long, but it's not. I don't know. I didn't care. Like, again, Digimon Hansu was fantastic. He's an awesome actor. He has he only says like 4 words. He doesn't have much to do in this movie. He shows up drunk. He stands up. He cleans up well, and then he's just in the fight scene at the end, and he says a couple of inspiring words, and that's it. Like, the most we know about him is from what other people say is that he's a brilliant tactician, I guess. And then you have
I want you to look at the difference between, because basically this is a team up Seven Samurai, movie. Look at this versus same genre, Rogue One.
Yeah.
And how much we cared about those characters without spending a lot of screen time with them.
Right.
Yeah. That's a great example. That is a fantastic example of because and what makes it a great, and some people might be saying, well, that's not fair because it's Star Wars is established, but none of those characters are established. None of them.
At all. Yeah.
Because they had to all die before the 4th movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we are introduced to all of these characters brand new. And in that 2 hours, that movie made us care about the girl. Cassian, who went from like spy to, at the end of the movie, he had some redemption arc. Like, he had an arc. K2SO had an arc.
Oh, amazing.
The robot has an arc.
We shed tears over a robot.
Yes. He was so good. And it's not just...
And we care about those characters so much that Disney even has an
created
Andor
a
show.
Now. Yeah, which is amazing in itself. So, I mean, it's about characters. It's about telling the story. And Zack Snyder can show you things. He can. I'll give him that. But he just can't put it together in a cohesive narrative. He just can't.
No.
He can't make you care. He can make you like it. He can make you enjoy the visual, but he can't make you care about what's happening in them.
Yeah, I can't disagree, Sam. I really can't.
Yeah.
Wait, what just happened?
You're in San Francisco now. Not sure how you did that. It's pretty impressive.
I remember that in the movie.
So while we're taking this moment to acknowledge our backgrounds, I was laughing earlier while you were talking, not at you, but I was laughing at the words that are on Sam's screen here. Everything reminds me of her. And that in itself is funny, and we see the space vagina. But what really made me laugh was the, in parentheses underneath, deep mechanical rumbling.
Oh, subtitles. You gotta love it. Oh, man.
Yeah.
So Zoom just logged me out and said that my session was up.
Are we still recording?
It says it's still recording, so I'm not sure what's happening. I don't have the free version of... I don't have the free version of Zoom. This is a...
It's a paid version.
It's a paid version.
It's a paid version.
It told me that when I logged on. Awkward pause.
Awkward pause.
I'm so confused what's happening. I think it stopped I don't know if it stopped recording or not.
Recording stopped.
Now it does.
Recording in
done.
progress.
Whatever. This is so weird. I don't know. I'll figure it out later. I'm just going to keep recording. At the very least, we'll have the audio. We'll have the podcast. If it doesn't work for Zoom, whatever, for YouTube, then I'll figure it out later. That's so weird. The admin for Zoom for our company made some changes today, and I wonder if that's what happened. So now how do I bring it up at work without mentioning that I used it for the podcast? We'll see. Anyway, so okay. A couple scenes that I liked, but I also hated at the same time. How's that for paradoxical? I like that when Sophie, what's the character name? The lead, I forgot her name. Cora. I like when Cora gets to show off her skills when when she kills all the soldiers that get left behind in her village. Totally for it. What I didn't like is the fact that they were all about to rape the village girl. So we didn't need that. I really didn't need that, which actually made me realize that I actually had a third. What is this? What is this face, Andrew? What's happening?
Well, no, I was just going to say, I think that's why. Sorry, I was on my way to get some ice in my cup. I think this is why I did care about that character, though. Because you were talking about we didn't really care about a lot of the characters. I cared more about that girl in the village.
The water girl. Yeah, the water girl.
Than I did a lot of other people in the movie.
That's true. And I think that's because we as not horrible people we obviously don't want to see someone get raped. But like, so going to my third 5-word review, I forgot I got so soapboxy about the other stuff. My third one wants to be rated R. This movie wants to be rated R. This is a super violent film.
Yep.
Again, there's I mean, it's not a rape scene, but like it's implied this is what's about to happen. The leader of the village is bludgeoned to death.
You see some faces being caved in blurry images.
Yeah, there's lots of stabbing, and you hear stabbing noises, because the big difference between this and Star Wars is that, yes, Star Wars, a lot of people die, but they're wearing armor, and just like the laser hits them and there's some sparks and they fall down.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm okay with, my son knows, my 11-year-old knows, those soldiers died, but whatever. But like, this is I can't watch this with my son. And they're technically rated the same thing. Well, not A New Hope, but like The Force Awakens. I would feel comfortable watching that with him, but not this movie. Right. I mean, this movie is violent. It's really violent.
But I'm okay with that.
And there's a fully naked man at some point in the movie.
Well, see, and to your point, Sam, I'm not. Believe me, I'm not a prude against the violence, but it's like, go one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, it feels like we're too much in the middle of, oh wow, that was super violent, but are you PG-13 or are you not? Like, it felt like it.
Well, especially, and I can see where you're saying that especially the final fight between her and Nazi guy on the platform. She basically breaks his arm, but like, no, maybe not.
Oh, she breaks both of his arms. She knocks out some teeth. She stabs him and then throws him off a thing, and of course he's fine.
I kind of wanted to see a bone shard.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they didn't go far enough on that to really show that he was hurt that bad.
And that's and that's my point. Is also, it's like, either go R or don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Just make it just a normal, 2000s action scene where he gets beat up, which is fine.
Isn't that kind of a lot of Zack Snyder stuff though? Where it's like it's this weird teenagery target audience that like he's trying to get these movies to these kids to feel cool about watching, to be on the edge of that R.
I guess I don't know. It maybe it makes them edgy. I think it makes me feel like they don't know what they want to do with their movie. You know, like they shot a rated R version of it, but Netflix was like, no, we want a PG-13, so they had to just back it off a little bit. I don't know. It's a weird thing for me to be annoyed by in a movie filled with things to be annoyed by. I don't know. But like that was one of my notes. Was also there's always that one soldier that has to go too far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In this case, it was a whole.
Well, it was a whole squad. You're right, because like the sergeant or whatever is like, "Hey, stop! You know, you got work to do, and whatever." And then, so you're like, "Okay, well, at least there's one voice of reason." But then but then he was like, "No, I get her first, and then you can have her, and then we'll take turns." And then the one boy stood up to them, and then they kicked his ass, and then he.
And again, though, there was no arc to that kid. It was
he disappears. We don't see him anymore.
Well, I know he disappears, but at the same time, it's not like I
hope we find out,
or it just didn't seem earned that he did what he did against his people. It just didn't seem earned, and again, that is a way to tell a story, and it just was not done well.
Especially with the training that we see that they go through, like to become these, if they're all as good as she is, these killing machines, basically. I don't know. You wouldn't think that there would be one that was still that decent of a person in there.
Well, and here's the weird thing too. Did you notice? I noticed it. All of those dudes looked exactly the same.
Yeah,
they all were,
except one had his pants pulled up to under his chest.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like they were all like big, bulky, shaven head, blonde haired dudes. Like they all could have, except for the little dude who looked too small to be a soldier. But to your point,
admiral.
But to your point, Sam, it wasn't earned. I don't disagree. It's like he only has 2 scenes. He's nice to the robot.
Yeah. And
then he kind of steps in and says, "Hey, don't rape this girl," but he doesn't have a problem with the admiral or anybody else, murdering villagers, and all that stuff. Like that stuff is fine. I guess rape is where he draws the line, which good for him for having a line, I guess. But then he just disappears. You could tell me if you're gonna show me in the second movie, fine. But if you want me to watch the second movie to find out what happens to the kid, give me something.
Yeah.
Have him, because even the robot, which annoyed me, when the robot shoots the guy, which I thought I actually laughed. That part made me laugh.
Yeah.
He's
holding the gun sideways.
And then, just headshots him, which I thought was fantastic. And then the robot just leaves. And so when she's like, "Okay, I'm going to go on a quest to go find people to help us," the kid's like, "Hey, I'll stay here and help protect them." Great. Now we know what he's doing for the rest of the movie, but we don't know what he's doing for the rest of the movie. It's just, maybe he was with the robot putting the antlers on his head. I don't know.
Well, I kind of thought that the robot would go with them.
I did too. It would be a really cool companion. That would make
sense.
Yeah,
because they talk about the robot being, basically a
killing
assassin.
Machine. Yeah.
Yeah. So
and I would have liked to have that again, a character that we care about ish.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I know I felt bad when it was being shot at and the horse crap and all that sort of stuff. I liked the robot. I wanted to see more of it, but that's not what we get. Instead, we get, bare-chested men being all, looking serious in the middle distance. So,
and maybe we do in the second movie. We'll see. Maybe we do get a payoff of, hey, that kid is there in the village now, and he's become one of the villagers, and he's helping to take care of them. maybe we get that, but
I'm with you. But I'm sticking to this point. If you want me to watch, the only reason why I'm watching the second movie is because we're doing it for the podcast. If Sam, you watched this movie on your own accord before I forced you for the show, would you want to even watch the second movie having seen the first one?
How long has the second movie been out?
A couple weeks.
Yeah, not too long.
I thought it was been out a month or so. No, not at all. I didn't want to watch this. I wouldn't have watched the second one because I didn't care. And again, Zack Snyder's makes me mad when I watch his movies. So because he gives me internal struggles, not good struggles, more like I want to rage against this, but I like what I'm seeing.
The second movie came out April 19th.
Okay.
Another thing that I don't understand about the movie, she is handed from her adopted father a gun that he found in the wreckage, and it's like it's made to be like this is some significance, like it's a
lightsaber
weapon, like a lightsaber, or and then it's like it's not important at all. Like it even gets tossed aside, and then when they leave that platform area, it's just forgotten.
Yeah, I mean it's obviously her service weapon from when she was in the army. So
right,
it's
but we never see her use it. There's no backstory with that weapon to let us know that it's like really important to her or whatever. It's another hole that I don't think the movie filled very well.
Yeah.
Yep. You're not wrong.
You're not wrong. I will. So there's a couple things that I'm going to give a little bit of praise to on the film. I'm going to do a little bit of that. Okay. I kind of appreciate the fact that they didn't sexualize Korra.
Okay.
Meaning, yes, she's in a tank top for a good portion of the movie, but they don't make her look pretty all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's not like an Atomic Blonde where Charlize Theron is looking attractive all the time and kicking ass and doing awesome things. She doesn't do that. She also never uses her sexuality as a weapon.
Right.
Oh, you need me to do something for you? I'll do something. You do something for me, I'll do something for you, or whatever. Like, there's never any of those kind of things, right? She's a warrior like the whole time. So I'm gonna give a little credit to Zack Snyder in that he didn't make her into a sex thing.
And I think the only time we really see her kind of as a girly girl, quote unquote, is when she is kissing her boyfriend or significant other at the military academy right before he dies.
Yeah.
And then she's back to, and honestly, that's like 15 seconds of a scene.
Yeah.
And then we're back to badass fighting.
Yeah. So I did write that. That was a note of mine. Here are some of the notes, right? And you guys know this, and listening audience probably knows this too. I write questions to the movie in my notes, and then I find out if I get the answers or not. Like, let's see. Did you notice the horse poop? Well, then the robot is then thrown into the horse poop.
Thrown into it, yeah.
So okay, well of course we noticed the horse poop because it was a plot point. Let's see. How to Train Your Dragon meets Harry Potter 3. We got with the whole thing, which I was also
you got to bow to the hippogriff.
Yeah. But I was also so on Netflix. When you hover over the movie, right, and it starts showing clips or whatever. So we started the movie, and then I had to pause it to get my laptop ready and stuff like that. And so it pulls up a poster for the movie, and it's shirtless man with the bird horse behind him. So I thought, oh, that thing is going to be a plot. That's going to be his companion.
Yeah.
Right.
In the movie. And so when I see it in the movie, I'm like, oh, this is where we meet the horse thing, horse bird thing. Cool. And then they just leave it there and it murders its owner. And I thought, well, what was the point of that whole scene? Seriously, it has no point other than they might as well have just said, "Hey, we need you to come with us." Okay? Because the rest of the scene offers nothing other than to have some cool CGI stuff with a bird horse.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything. Nothing changed in the story at all. So, I wrote, where did the robot go? We will find out, I guess, in the second
Hopefully.
one. Yeah, hopefully. Let's see. What happened to the soldier who helped? So I asked that. Again, we still don't know. In a movie... Oh, yeah. So, Sam, you mentioned this. I think Sam, you mentioned it. Or maybe it was Andrew. I can't remember. So this was the note that I wrote. In a movie in a different universe with lasers and spaceships, it feels weird seeing a man with a necktie.
Absolutely.
Like he
You
was...
talk about being pulled out of a movie. I saw that and I was like, what are they doing?
Yeah,
especially when nobody else is in it either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you looked closely in the village, there's people like wearing overalls.
I see.
And I don't understand.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the overalls. I'm okay with those kinds of things because it feels... Now, I will say this. We haven't mentioned this. I'm going to give Zack Snyder a little bit of credit. The world building, I think, is pretty cool. Right? Every world feels different. This does feel like a space that's lived in. His spaceship, though, doesn't look very cool, is dirty and grimy and has, like the flying mechanism was kind of neat because it looked like a rudder. So there's things in the movie that I did like that I thought were interesting and unique. But so yeah, dude wearing overalls, fine, right? They're farmers, whatever. But the necktie is such a weird pull because it makes him look like a banker. Like he's here to do my taxes. And it was such a strange... Like if you want him to have a necktie, make it a weird space necktie.
Yeah.
There's ways to do it other than white button-up necktie. Like did wardrobe just like, did they take a couple days off during filming?
Kind of felt like it.
It's like, oh, I just came from church. This is what I got. All right, well, you just wear that. It's fine. It's just very strange. So I'm totally with you. The necktie thing was weird. I didn't expect the Hunman double cross. That did catch me by surprise. Mm-hmm. Why make the farmer do the paralyzing gun thing? If he just does it himself, they win.
Right.
Like I don't understand that part of the movie because he's
have something where he's been trying to teach this guy to have a spine or do something story-wise to make it worth him asking the farmer to do it.
Because it's a total flip. The whole movie, he's just, he just is the pilot.
Yeah.
And then he has a little bit of moment where he's like, maybe I can be the hero, blah, 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 right? And then they go to the thing and they do the double cross. And then out of nowhere, he picks on the farmer.
Yeah.
You're right. If the whole movie, he's like, hey, you need to grow a spine. You're going to get in trouble out here. You can't survive out here if you're not going to grow a spine. And then we have this moment where he's like, you're going to do it because you don't have a spine. Like I'm with you. Like, yeah. Let's build on this thing.
A story thing.
We've established, but we haven't established. So Hunman doing the flip and then saying, you're going to go do this thing seemed out of nowhere and out of character. So weird. It was so weird. I did like the fight scene though. I thought that fight scene at the end was pretty cool. I did like that.
Yeah, all the action I think was pretty good.
Yeah.
And Snyder does have an eye for it.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
So that's all my notes.
Because you do feel like there's the scene where they're in the they're kind of in the bar or the nightclub looking thing on when they meet his character for the first time. It's very much an Old West saloon.
Yep.
And I'm here for it. I'm here for space westerns because I actually wrote at one note, this feels like Firefly.
Yeah.
It kind of
Yeah, I
feels
thought so
like
too.
Firefly. Small ships, people are pirates, some people are just cargo people. There's just, folk doing their thing. There's a evil kind of centralized whatever, band or whatever. Okay, yeah, this is kind of like Firefly. Which I guess you could say Firefly, I guess, is kind of like those other things, which is pretty accurate. Is fair to say. But
this is kind of like Firefly with a less cool ship.
oh yeah,
Way less cool.
way less cool ship. Yeah, Serenity is supposed to look weird and kind of dumb because it's just like it's supposed
It's a cargo ship.
It's
or
a
something.
cargo ship, and it's also a punchline throughout the series where they're like, you fly on a Firefly class ship. How do you even go into space? Like she's a punchline several
Right.
times throughout the movie or the series. So that's why it looks weird because it's supposed to. Same thing with the Millennium Falcon. The first thing Leia says about it is like, that hunk of junk. Like it's okay for your spaceship to look kind of busted and weird. This thing just looked like I mean, my 11-year-old can build cooler Legos. Like Andrew made reference to earlier, having Legos spaceships and stuff. It just,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm getting worked up about this movie. I really didn't. I didn't mean to. I didn't quite realize I had such feelings about this movie, but I'm also just kind of annoyed. Like I want to meet next time I meet my brother-in-law. I want to ask him what he liked about this movie because there's a few things that I liked about this movie too, but it's not enough for me to ever want to watch this movie again.
Right. I told Sam this last night. I didn't get to talk to you, Sean, or I talked to you about this, but I fell asleep and I missed about 30 minutes of the movie.
Oh no, you had to go back.
And I did go back and catch those 30 minutes, but the thing was, after catching those 30 minutes, I don't feel like I missed anything.
Yeah.
Like I took 30 minutes, a 30-minute chunk out of the middle of the movie, and I knew exactly what was going on, and I was fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. All right. I had another thought pop in my head, but I'm not going to do it right now. I don't want to. It's fine. So I'm going to play a few clips, and then we'll go from there. So the leader of the village, who was the bad guy in Ant-Man, I like his idea of how we should celebrate food. So next time we have a big dinner at the house, I'm going to remind Sarah that this is how we should celebrate the food.
It is my duty as the head of this community to remind you that the gods of the harvest demand a tribute, an offering. For we all know it is the thrusting of hips and the loud sounds of pleasure that summon the seedlings to sprout. So make love tonight for the harvest, for the very food we eat. Yeah! For the gods!
Yeah.
For them.
Yeah. There you
I
go.
just noticed, watching him, it was different, but listening to him, I don't like his accent.
You don't like
I feel like there's something off.
Doesn't quite fit. Yeah.
It's like it's a mixture of different accents, I think.
he's trying to be like a space Viking. I'm okay.
I
with that.
guess.
I will admit, I there's not a whole lot of clips just because there's not a lot of interesting things being happening, but
Which says a lot about the movie.
there's a lot of dialogue, but there's just not a lot that's like worthy of the clippage. But here was something I thought was kind of interesting.
That we are their partners, not their adversaries. Right?
Did you say partner, Gunnar?
I did. Is that a problem?
That ship does not represent prosperity. Its purpose is to destroy, to subjugate, to enslave. Partnership is not in its vocabulary. Give them what they ask for, but volunteer nothing about how fertile this land is.
It's one of those things where just listen to the girl that you don't really know very well.
And for that land to be really fertile, it looked like trash. Like It looked like it was the least fertile thing in the universe.
Yeah.
It was all dusty and dirty and...
Yeah. I did also like that everyone there in that village was dusty and dirty. Like,
yeah,
they all were dirty all the time. Here's, I labeled this Backstory 1. So this was like our first piece of backstory, besides the opening narration.
Tell me, Sam, do you know the story of our slain king and his beautiful daughter, the Princess Issa?
I don't.
Well, you remind me of her. In myth, she was called the Chalice or the Redeemer. She was Pueri Salvatoris, and even before she was born, I and my brothers pledged everything we were, everything that dwells inside this metal skin, to fight in her name.
I could listen to that for a long time. He's great. I love him. He's fantastic. Just, again, and I have to assume we're going to get so much more in the second movie of him.
I hope so.
Because otherwise, why cast Anthony Hopkins to do it?
Right.
All right. Bounty hunters.
Were those hawkshaws that paid you working for the Motherworld? I don't like bounty hunters.
I didn't ask. And to be clear, I don't like bounty hunters either.
So you a gun for hire?
No, that's not my thing. I'm more of an opportunist, you might say.
A real hero, huh?
Now, this is kind of also, I don't know what she says at the beginning of the clip. All right, so we'll play it again.
Were those hawkshaws that paid you working for the Motherworld?
Something about paid you for the Motherworld. That's all I got.
You didn't catch that?
No.
Were those hawkshaws that paid you working for the Motherworld?
The assholes that paid you?
Is she saying assholes?
I don't know. I'm guessing.
Were those hawkshaws that paid you working for the Motherworld? I don't like bounty hunters.
No idea.
I can tell you. I have it right here. Somewhere.
Oh, you got closed captioning going on?
I do. Let me fast forward here. We got the bar fight and the gunshots.
Yeah, Hunman just he shoots the weird pig dude in the noggin, and he goes to walk by her.
Right. So I got it here, but were those hawkshaws that paid you?
Okay.
So I'm not sure what a hawkshaw is.
I don't either, but
it was capitalized, so I assume it's maybe a race.
Yeah. Maybe yeah.
A people of some kind.
Yeah, a profession, I guess.
Yeah. Or yeah.
Okay. I did like this line.
Kindness is a virtue worth dying for. I believe that.
I like that line. I thought that was nice. Okay. Sam, you still with us?
Yep.
Okay. I didn't know if you had dozed off into the
No, I'm about to.
The space vagina there. I did like this line too.
Do you know what you've done for me, Arthelaus? Truly? Assembling yourself as such? When I lay your bodies at the foot of the region, I'll be a hero of the realm. They'll write songs of my feats of courage.
It's not like I didn't do all the work.
Let's move this along, shall we?
I like that. My feats of courage. And I was like, I did all the work. That's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
And this was also, I like this.
You're certain it's her?
I am, my lord. She was in the company of the disgraced General Titus and Darien Bloodaxe. We are close to capturing them.
Tell me, Commander, did you think that this would be good news? That my daughter, Arthelaus, one of the most dangerous and decorated warriors in the history of armed conflict, is now part of a blossoming insurgency? I'm supposed to be happy that she's joined forces with the genius, battlefield commander General Titus.
Like, oh, this is not good news. I also like how he got demoted during that conversation because he calls him commander. He's an admiral, but he got demoted in that moment. So sucks for him. All right, time for this.
And now for some more bad news. Ready?
All right, this is where we maybe have a game or not. I don't know. Do we?
Yeah, we have a short game this week.
All right.
Three question game.
I like that. That's nice. It was a painful movie, so thank you for not making it too long.
Yeah. Well, and these are all within the first few minutes of the movie. So if you're somebody listening and you think, I don't know that I can make it through all this movie, I agree with you. And you can still get these questions without watching the whole thing. So first question, here you go. Sam, we'll start with you. I don't know if it's your turn to go first, but we're going to start with you.
Okay.
All right. What is the animal called that is killed and eaten in the village at the beginning of the movie?
A horse.
No.
Oh, okay.
Not a horse.
It does have a weird name. It's like a silver something, isn't it? It's a silver. No, okay. No, silverback gorilla. I thought there was a name.
Is that your guess?
Yeah.
Silver something?
Yeah.
It is a snow elk.
Snow elk. I see. I got the S.
Snow elk.
They call it a snow elk, which we don't see snow in that village. We see it other places later on, but not in that village.
I mean, there are mountains, I guess, but yeah, you're right.
Nearby mountains.
Yeah. All right, Sean.
Yep.
How many bays are on the port side of the ship at the beginning of the movie? You know, the docking bays or the whatever they're called.
It's 4 on each side, isn't it?
No.
Is it 5 on each side?
Closer.
6?
There are 7 on each side.
7, really? Gosh. Okay.
Yeah. All right, and then the last question is this. Sam, how many times does Cora hit the bell alarm with the big hammer?
Oh, Lord.
That's a mean one. That's just mean.
It's like 6 times.
Yeah.
Sean.
I'm going to say 7 because I'm feeling there's a 7 vibe here.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
You have gotten the point. Yeah, there's 7 times.
Yeah, because as soon as you said there were 7 things on the side, I'm like, of course there were, because this movie is the 7th Samurai, and it also didn't really occur to me until I'm looking at the picture there, and there are 7.
But there are 7 people.
There are 7 people because the pilot is killed by the cow killer to the throat, which was kind of a cool way to die, honestly. But the robot makes up 7.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I would bet you, Andrew, if you went back through, there's probably
a bunch of 7s,
a dozen other references to 7 in this movie.
Yeah, well, I'm at the scene now where the sword lady is fighting the
spider. My wife could not watch that scene at all.
Yeah, and I was counting the legs to see if maybe she had 7 legs, but it's 8.
It's 8. That would have been pretty cool if, like, I in battle earlier this year, I lost a leg. Oh, so you only have 7 legs. Got it. That's cool. All right. Time for this. Everyone. All right. Jeez, gosh, why are you yelling so much, Gary Oldman? All right, we're gonna give this movie a score from 0 to 10. Boy, am I excited to see where this thing falls. It has a 5.4 on IMDb.
Surprising.
If it makes you feel any worse, because it's not going to make you feel better, Rebel Moon 2 has a 5.2 on IMDb. It actually is rated worse.
God. Oh,
so,
Lord.
Okay.
That's why I didn't make it next.
Looking forward to that one.
Yay. What do you got, Andrew?
Well, gosh, I know I've seen worse movies, and there are a few redeeming qualities. So I feel like I'm going to have to be in the 4 range.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's say 4. Just 4.
4. Not 7 Samurai?
No, it doesn't deserve any more.
No, I got it. Sam.
It's in the typical Zack Snyder verse here, where it's pretty, like Andrew said, there are certain things that are interesting, at least, but doggone it, it's so bad. 3.58 out of 10 for me.
Okay, 3.58.
It's been a while since I've been that low.
Well, no. Aquaman 2 you did not like. So
Oh, okay.
Aquaman 2 you gave it 2.75.
Yeah. At least this, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and Lift, you gave Lift a 4.23.
God, see, Lift is so bad too.
The Covenant you didn't like. You gave it a 4.25. But then I gotta go back a pretty good ways before that. Shotgun Wedding 4.83. So it does happen for you. You know, into the Woods you didn't like either. 4.2.
No, I did not.
In fact, I have to go all the way back to Morbius before I can get to another 3.85. So what you're saying is that you would rather watch Morbius than this movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't really disagree. I mean, if you would have said, no, I'll switch it back, or whatever, that's fine too. Like, that's, I don't really, again, I tried to like this movie. I did. I really wanted to.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be a movie where I'm like, no, everybody is wrong. It's fine. And then I mean, like you have to look at you look back at his movies. Rebel Moon 2, 5.2. This one's 5.6. Army of the Dead, 5.8. Now his Justice League is a 7.9. The original 2017 Justice League is a 6.1. Batman vs Superman 6.5. Man of Steel 7.1. Sucker Punch 6.1. Yep. So they're all kind of in the middle. Watchmen 7.6. Watchmen, I forgot about Watchmen. We've done Watchmen.
Yep.
Forgot about that. I'm stalling, but basically, I like a 4. I like a solid. I can't do a solid 4. A 4.1. It's not a good movie, guys. It's just not.
No.
It's not. But that's okay, because next week we're going to do something fun. Battle Beyond the Stars. I've never seen it, but it's super campy. It's very 80s. Not 80s. Is it 80s or 70s? I think it's 70s. I'm looking forward to it because I've never seen it. And
taking it back now.
And I'm looking forward to it. So
okay,
it's just it feels 1980. Yeah, 1980.
Yep.
George Papard, Robert Vaughn. So yeah, Roger Corman directed it. Yeah, looking forward to it. Heck, oh my gosh, I'm looking at the poster. Sorry, and the ship kind of looks like one of the ships that was in this movie.
Interesting.
Kind of middle body with the jets on the side, kind of a thing. The engine on the side. All right, it's fine. All right, that's it. But in the meantime, if you're not too annoyed with us for making you watch this movie or listen to us talk about it, then you can go to our website, cheapseatreviews.libsyn.com. There you can find links to all the other stuff. Go to our website, or go to YouTube, youtube.com/cheapseatreviews, where you can watch maybe this episode and others, and see the weird artwork that Sam makes throughout the episode, and you can see our faces and all that fun stuff. So go do that. Leave us a review, would be fantastic. And yeah, go to our website and buy merch. That'd be also pretty cool because we still have merch. It's still there. The store's still up. But that's cool. That's it. That's going to do it. So on behalf of Andrew and Sam, this is Sean saying thank you all so much for listening, and we will see you next week for Battle Beyond the Stars.
This is Cheapseat Reviews.